is like doing stuff you don't want to do, because that's what keeps you clean. So that's what I'm here doing, and it's not because I don't want to share the message of Narcotics Anonymous. It's because just like as I was in active addiction, I'm really self-centered sometimes. So it's terrifying for me, but what I'm taught to do is to get out of myself whenever something like that happens, so here I am, yay. So kind of to understand where I am now, I guess you kind of have to understand where I came from. So I grew up right outside of Philadelphia, had a really like normal family for the most part. You know, my parents were divorced, it happened pretty early in life, a couple of siblings, and like, it was fine. My grandma raised me. There was, you know, a little bit of religious trauma there. My dad worked a bunch. But it kind of is what it is, right? Everything in my life has always been extremes. There was never like a little emotion. I can remember even just like, yeah, like in like 4th and 5th grade, I was like self-harming, and then that was a whole big thing, and somehow I begged my guidance counselor not to tell my dad, which is like against the law, by the way, because she didn't, which is cool on my part, but then it all came to light whenever I was in 6th grade, and I made a comment to my brother, and I was like, you know, sometimes I just wish that I lived with mom, and then apparently there was a whole big hubbub. And 3 days later, I was living with my mom. So moved down to South Carolina. I didn't know anybody. I had only spent summers with my mom, really. It was kind of like really messed up when she left. But whatever. I did really well there. You know, I'm like most addicts, I'm extremely intelligent. For the most part, I'm well-spoken, even though tonight might not prove that. So, you know, I did pretty well there, and then, you know, I was like going through a lot of like self-discovery and stuff, so, you know, apparently I thought I was gay at 15 years old, and I started dating a girl, which is cool, because like I dated women for a while, obviously not anymore, but, so, I had a really good relationship with God of my understanding, right? I was going to youth group, I was going to church, I was helping out with Bible study, and then like I had told my youth pastor's wife that like I was in a relationship with this woman, and everything was immediately ripped away from me, because apparently I don't want a closer relationship with God if that's what I'm doing. When I talk about God, it's a God of my understanding. At some point in time, it's been a tree, it's been the ocean. Big bearded God used to call him Sky Daddy. It's a lot easier today to just call him God. So that's what I choose to do. Shit, if I didn't, I don't know. He has too many names for me. So, anyways, so that happened, and there it was again with the religious trauma. So I stepped back out from it. And that girl that I was dating, she was about 3 years older than me, so she had lived a little bit more life. And she was the first person that introduced me to like any type of drugs, right? So it started out with pills, and I worked at the vet at the time, and I had like a big old Great Dane with really, really terrible thunderstorm anxiety. And if you know anything about a 140-pound Great Dane, little, you know, Benadryl ain't gonna affect that dog. So my dog got put on, you know, some nice little sedatives, and every time I would go to give my dog one, the moment it started raining in South Carolina, my dog got about a half of one, and I got a, you know, 2.5, whatever. So I was addicted to my dog Xanax, right? And you know, been a vicious cycle of things. That continued for about 1.5 years until I decided I got scared when I didn't get credit my entire 11th grade year of high school. So I went up to go and visit my dad for the summer and just didn't go back. So that's kind of the way that it goes every single time in my life is I get in trouble or I get scared and I run. And that's a very common theme, or I fight for the wrong reasons or whatever. But, you know, as the disease of addiction goes, it's very progressive and it happens pretty quick. So I move up there, I start dabbling with more stuff. right outside of Philadelphia. If y'all aren't familiar with Philadelphia, there is like a nice little open-air drug market down there called Kensington. And you can just go and get whatever you want. So eventually, you know, pills got too expensive, right? Like as they do. So I switched to, you know, something else, obviously. And that was bad. You know, I don't, and no reason should a 20-year-old be going down to Kensington at 2 o'clock in the morning and still live. But, you know, here I am. I'd started dating a different girl at that time. She was a recovering addict as well. And I can remember when she found out I was doing heroin, she took it out of my bag and she was like, hey, I found this, I flushed it, and I told your family. And my sister had known that I was like dabbling, they didn't realize it was that bad. So that was the first time I went to rehab, and I put it in very loose quotations because I did it just to make my family happy. Did inpatient, attempted to do IOP, but I didn't want it, and I didn't think I needed it. So I left that treatment center, went right back into ripping and roaring things, you know. At the same time, I was kind of like wheeling and dealing some stuff too, and I had been so messed up one time. The cops had busted in on my person for my other stuff, and they're like, yeah, we know about you too. And I'm 20 years old and I'm scared shitless. I'm like, yeah, here's my safe and my cash and all of my drugs, and that's how I got my felony charge. Except I ran from it, right? So the girl that I was dating, she was my fiance. She was like, hey, here's your ultimatum. Get help or we're done. I will always thank that woman to this day because I decided that I didn't want to be done with her. So I went to treatment. Again, except I actually kind of took it seriously this time. So went out to California. And kind of just a whole bunch of the same stuff. I really liked it. Kept relapsing, you know. Discovered I really like things that make me go quick out there as well. And that was a whole demon in my life. I got pregnant with my son when I was 22. And the dad gave me money for an abortion. I went. My son was too small to see on an ultrasound. So I was like, that's God telling me, you know, I shouldn't get this. Met a guy, he lied to his family. I was like, yeah, the kid's mine. So then I leave California and I go to live with him. Wow, I'm really quick through my story already. Cool. Anyways, I'm gonna get to some solution, I promise. Just set up the backstory. So, you know, just as two dope fiends do, fresh out of rehab, a nice little rehab romance, imagine that we relapsed.
Crazy.
So crazy. It's crazy that we relapsed, right? Especially because we were in his hometown. So, you know, I relapsed when I was pregnant a couple of times. Don't know how. My kid didn't get taken away from me there. My kid got taken away whenever my ex's mom called CPS because my baby, my 8-month-old baby, was laying next to me, screaming his face off, and I wasn't waking up for shit. So that was the first time CPS got involved in my life. I just tried to, you know, play it all off. Didn't think it was fucking serious. So the entire time I was pregnant with my son, I called him an alien or like a parasite. I never wanted to be a mom. Never wanted to be a mom, right? I was cool with being, you know, an awesome aunt. Kids scared the shit out of me. Honestly, they still do. I don't like holding newborn babies because they're real fragile and I think they're gonna break. But probably after about a year of fighting CPS, I finally decided to pull my head out of my ass and like start getting clean. And that's whenever I was like trying to come to meetings, but I wasn't really taking it seriously. I didn't get a sponsor, but I was going and I could say all the things. Like every reading that everyone read, like I knew it inside, backwards, forwards, you know, like the back of my hand. I can talk the talk. It's really just a matter of walking the walk. And it's like, really hard to do for me, apparently. So get my son back, right? This entire time, I'm in a really, really, really toxic relationship. The man never hit me except one time. I really did deserve it. I'm not gonna lie, like, when you close fist hit a man a lot for a couple of years, like, it's only expected that he's gonna get pissed off back and then hit you, right? And I played the victim. I was like, he hit me. Like, I had it fucking coming, honestly. I super had it coming, and that's not like victim mentality. No, I had it coming. But you know, we think life is good and life is grand. So I get pregnant, and we have another kid. Intro Willow. Willow is, I'll tell you what, my kids are my pride and joy, right? I love my kids, and you'll find out here in a little bit, you know, what I did. So, you know, everything was great during my pregnancy, actually. I'm doing really well. I'm actually clean. I think at this point in time, I had just shy of 18 months clean. So, like, life is good. I bought a house during that time. I have cars. Life is just good. And then life very quickly derails because, again, I don't know how to handle my emotions, so what I do is run. And it does not have to be a physical type of run. It can be an emotional or, you know, a state of consciousness kind of run. So when I find out that I get cheated on at 8 months pregnant with my daughter, I go ahead and use, but guess what? It sends me into early labor. So I don't get to leave the hospital with my newborn daughter. And my son gets taken. And that sucked. So CBS gets involved again, right? Everything actually goes really smooth this time because I really did want to be clean. But I had to work through a lot of shit, right? Because the abandonment issues with my mom whenever she left me, and, you know, finding out that the man who raised me isn't my biological father, and, you know, just so much stacked up, so much was stacked up against me, like, oh no, I had to get childed. But, like, parts of it sucked, right? And, like, when you don't know how to properly manage emotions, when I don't know how to properly manage emotions, like, I do irrational things.
Mm-hmm.
So I get my kids back. Like, this time it only took 9 months. It actually should have only taken 6 months, you know. Pat on my back there, mom of the year. Yeah, so get my kids back, and like, life is still pretty good until, you know, throughout this time I start slowly losing my mind, because if there's one thing about methamphetamines that'll do to you, is that it'll make you go crazy. And it'll make you think that people are after you. And when your brother's a cop, you're automatically going to think that every cop is out to get you, and they're all talking to your brother. And that if too many streetlights are on and one is out, you're going to go walk towards that streetlight at 2 o'clock in the morning, because obviously it's a sign, you know, or the fucking aliens are talking to you in the trees. Just had this conversation earlier tonight. The blues and the grays, by the way. So obviously. Like, that shit doesn't heal right off the rip. That shit didn't heal for me right off the rip. So I kept getting put into, like, mental institutions, and then pills were getting shoved down my throat. Unfortunately, like, that shit made me lose time. So I was just going, like, crazier and crazier, but every time I would get out of the unit, I'd have to take care of my kids again, like, right off the rip. And it was just not good for anybody, including myself, till eventually, you know, I wasn't able to stay awake. So I was like, you know, it sounds like a really good idea. Let's do some drugs to keep me awake, knowing damn well where it was going to go. And I didn't care, because something about me is that I'm never going to play, let me rephrase that. I never used to play the table all the way through. I had a sponsor, you know, who taught me. She said, maybe the reason why you keep relapsing is because you call yourself a chronic relapser. So long and short of it, if you can imagine, everything went to shit. My sister came to try to talk me out of a psychosis. I thought my, you know, 5-year-old son was a freaking sleeper cell Russian agent, and that he was getting activated, you know. And Yeah, so I was so batshit crazy, I was mopping the ceiling, and my sister called my mom, and my mom called CPS. And at that point in time, I immediately cut my mom out of my life. Because how the fuck are you gonna lose your kids 3 times and get them back, right? Like, what are the odds of that? So, my cousin lives down here. If anybody knows my cousin Phil, good people, somehow got me down here, right? Don't know how. Bless my cousin's heart, because I was batshit crazy then too. Called the cops on myself a couple times on the drive down here. Had a lot of state troopers at my house, and they're just like, Katie, please just leave. Like, you're good, just go, okay? So I went to Buffalo Valley. And if anybody's been to Buffalo Valley, that place will humble you real quick, right? And I've been to rehabs that had harpists and acupuncture, and then I've been to Buffalo Valley. I got the most out of my recovery at Buffalo Valley because I didn't have anything there. I think I read The Hobbit, you know, that might have been like one of the only reading materials, and I journaled for every day. Somehow in that time frame, my ex had gotten the kids back. You know, he played the whole "Hey, Katie's crazy," which is fine, you know, because I kind of was, but he got the kids back. Got out of Buffalo Valley, and I just had like this really weird feeling about my kids, so I ended up like calling someone to go and check on them, because like even though my ex and I were not good, like we were together for 7 years. That's, you know, that's the father of my children. Newsflash, I don't make good choices. He was not a good choice for me, right? But like anything comfortable, I kept going back no matter what, because at least it was something that I knew. So I say all this to say, my kids did officially get taken, right? My dad died when I was 6 months clean. Didn't think I was going to be able to make it through that. That was actually one of my things whenever, first step maybe? I think it's first step. There's a lot of questions, like 69 questions. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of questions, and one of them's like, hey, what's a reservation that you have? And I can remember clear as day 2 of mine were me not getting my kids back and my parents dying. My mom's still alive. My mom's doing great. Just went saw her a couple of weeks ago, by the way. Me and my mom made up. I'm forever grateful that my mom called CPS that day, because I was at the point where I was sleeping with a knife, and like, you know, it wasn't okay. So my dad died when I was about 6 months clean, and just like always, I don't know how to manage my emotions. Somehow I managed to like stay clean throughout that period. Went up to the funeral and everything. Did fine, and so this is what I'm going to tell you. I came here to this room in particular. This room has given me everything that I know today. This room has taught me how to come up here and to actually like say the hard things and get vulnerable. This room has been here to celebrate engagements, and they've also been here to, you know, honor people who have died. When I'm spitting out, I don't know what to do. My entire phone is full of people from these rooms, you know? So my dad died, I didn't handle it well. I think I held it together for maybe another 4 months. Mm-hmm. And then I got out of like my safe little bubble environment of a sober living. And I decided real quick, I think within 3 days, that it would be like a really great idea to do a drug that like I never had a problem with, it's fine, everything's gonna be fine. And within a week, I was back to like my drug of choice, right? So, yeah, I don't know why. My fiance did not leave me. I think we briefly broke up for about a month during that time. He told me I need to get the fuck out of his house. Because believe it or not, my fiance is also in the program. He told me to get the fuck out of his house. He called my cousin, the same one that got me down here, and he said, you need to come and get your fucking cousin right now. Because again, I lost my fucking brain, right? I think I tried to hop out of the car in front of the cop.
Yep.
Yeah, it was to the point where he like detached the battery in my car so I couldn't drive anywhere, which is really good. I ate a bunch of melatonin.
Oh my God,
Hey, I don't know,
I
I'm
had
gonna
to
die.
take it
They had to take me to the hospital. I ate a lot of melatonin. I slept for a really long time. So I went to detox, right? And I don't know what the fuck clicked. Maybe it was sleeping on my cousin's couch for 3 months, sharing it with an 80-pound lab. Or quitting a job down on Merchants, or just fucking listening to my sponsor for once. He said, quit your fucking job. You don't need it. Sleep on your cousin's couch. Like, you don't have any other choices, right? So I listened. Wow. And the day after I quit my job, I got another job, and it paid bank. And I was still serving, but it was here in Oak Ridge, and it was great. Great. So I continued to work with that sponsor for a little bit, and then some shit happened. And like, I ran, imagine that, but what I didn't do is I didn't run from the rooms.
Okay.
Right? So I ran from that sponsor, but I didn't run from the rooms. And what that experience taught me, because we were a really, really close group of ladies, you know? What that experience taught me is like, number one, bitch, stop being codependent. Because I was extremely codependent on that group of friends, and then I was left alone, right? And that was hard because one of my biggest things in life is like, oh, nobody loves me, I'm alone. And I never, ever have to be alone in a room of Narcotics Anonymous. Like, I never have to fucking use again. And my life experiences have taught me that. And I don't have to be alone. Like, never alone, never again. So what these rooms have done for me, I pulled my head out of my ass, gave custody of my kids away, right? And as a mother, or as a parent, anybody who's going through it, it's a really fucking difficult thing to do, right? Especially admitting defeat and just realizing, like, you are, as a mom, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna get emotional. As a mom, it is my job to like raise little baby humans and like just try to make them good humans, right? But how can I teach them something that I don't know how to be? I live a very blessed life today. So my clean date is 5/24/24. I just celebrated 2 years clean, which is really fucking cool. And at the end of this month, so I know who adopted my kids. It's the same lady who had them every time they went into foster care, right? I'm blessed. My kids don't call me mom, they call me Katie. First time I saw my son, he said, you did drugs, didn't you? And I said, yeah. I said, why are you not in jail? And I said,
Period.
I don't know, but I'm not. My daughter is one of the sweetest old souls you'll have ever seen. And she's just literally, like, they call her Chappy, like old chap, you know? I am blessed with the opportunity that woman's having surgery. It's gonna knock her out of commission for about a month. And I get to go up and help. Like, I've been invited to be like the primary caregiver in that situation. So like, not only am I trusted to even just come around before, which nobody would even tell me who the fucking lady was before. Like, now I get to go and do that. And it's like only because I decide to wake up and like do things that I don't want to fucking do. You know, I pray. If anybody met me, I started my prayers out with, "Hey Sky Daddy, it's Katie," and I really selfishly prayed. And I don't do that anymore. Me and my work friends, because I work remote, we start our day out with prayer, and then if we're struggling with something, we'll pray again.
Amen.
So these steps, right? There is really, truly only one step that I have to work perfect. And it's step 1, where we admitted we were powerless over our addiction and our lives had become unmanageable. I can't do a drug. I can't take a drink. I can't even drink caffeine the way that I used to, right? I used to start my day with a pot of coffee. I start tweaking out if I have 2 cups today. I don't know why I didn't think my life was unmanageable before. Whenever